So what is Star Trek Online? Just in case you don't know. We're a free-to-play MMO that's a massively multiplayer online game. You can be playing online with your friends, with people from all over the world. You can play as a Federation, Klingon, or Romulan captain, and you can go out on your adventures with your crew, by yourself, however you want to play. We have as many episodes in our game as any 5 seasons of any Star Trek series. We've got a rich end game. We have great fleet progression, which is like our guilds. We have space and ground combat, and we have huge customization options for your ships and for all of your characters in game. These are all of the Enterprises from all the different eras, starting with the NX from Enterprise all the way to the Galaxy and the Sovereign. In the upper right there, you can see the Odyssey. That is our own Enterprise that was actually part of a community design contest. We like to work with our community to build the game that they want to play, and that's the representation of it right there. Something that's really exciting, every person on here, every actor on here has done voice work for our game. And we like to expand on stories that were told in episodes or in movies where the story kind of ended and they moved on to the next planet or on to the next story. And we give you more backstory on it. We did that with Worf in the episode where the Enterprise crew was being kidnapped and having their limbs cut off and put back together. We kind of got deeper into that story for him. Jerry Ryan, she had a great story in Voyager with a species that she woke up that were very militant and they escaped and what happened with that. So we did a whole story with that. We did one with Sela, with Denise Crosby. She had a story that she really wanted to tell for her character, and she told us about that. And so we got her into the game and we were telling the story that she wanted to tell for her character. This is something that we do with most of our content, is filling in those gaps and taking those stories that we all love and continuing them. So we recently announced an expansion. We'll talk about our previous expansions and then we'll get right into our newest one, Agents of Yesterday. Legacy of Romulus introduced the Romulan faction, so you can play a new player experience as a Romulan. Delta Rising was a level cap increase, increased the ship tiers, increased gear progression, a lot of endgame mechanics. But Star Trek Online Agents of Yesterday is here with the 50th anniversary. We're going to the original series, something that we haven't done before. I'm sure everyone's excited to see that. And this is actually the first time we've ever translated a trailer into German for an audience, so you should feel very privileged. So here's the breakdown of Agents of Yesterday. It's 2270, and you are able to create your own captain in that era. You'll be flying an era-appropriate ship. You saw a lot of the cool combat that will be taking place in. The story takes place through many of the eras as a time travel story, but it all starts in the TOS era. And because the time travel story is very easy to maybe do something that's not very interesting, but we've actually planned this story for well over a year and planted seeds throughout our existing content for things we've been releasing going back as this time last year. So as players that are longtime players of Star Trek Online play this content, they'll be able to see that we thought things through and be able to see the repercussions of your time traveling actions. This is pretty exciting for us. We have new episodic content not only for our TOS faction, but for our existing players as well. A great time travel story that ties together, again, that story we've been weaving for well over a year. And then we have a system that allows players to earn a lot of additional rewards for playing as these TOS characters, in addition to the reward of just being able to play in that original series era. I'm happy to announce, you may have seen blogs, we have Walter Koenig reprising his role as Chekhov in the game. He's going to be featured throughout all of our story content. That's really exciting. And then we have Chris Doohan taking over for his father as Scotty, and so he's going to be featured throughout the game as well. And these two together, they have a lot of great moments throughout the stories and the episodes. So this is Vasquez Rocks, the famous rocks where Kirk fought the Gorn. I'm very excited with what my team did here, but you may have seen the trailer might have looked grainy. It's something that we're intentionally doing to build this film grain, to make it feel like you're playing through the 60s TV show. It's something that we were really excited to get into the game. We have the correctly modeled Gorn with their tunics. This is something else that's very interesting where this is the episode from the episode Journey to Babel. We have recreated it exactly in the game with all of the characters in this exact moment. And you're going to be going through this moment of an episode from the original series from a different perspective. It was very exciting for us to do. Again, our rogues gallery, we've made original series versions of all these villains that we've had in the game, 200 some odd years in the future. Newer space stock, and then the newer space stock interior, really going for that 60s look. We've got that bar. It just looks fantastic. There's more work being done every day. Things are already looking great. And you can actually play the very beginning of this expansion on our test shard. It just went live yesterday. But it's not just the interiors, it's not just the environments. The ships are also very important. So we've got a completely redone model for the Constitution, and then we've got the Daedalus. And those two ships basically wrap up all of the TOS ships that we saw on screen, so we had to come up with some of our own. We've got the Gemini class, which is based slightly on the Cheyenne. We're very happy with a lot of these came out. The Perseus class, which is an escort, looking very cool. You can see the cannon emitters right there in the front. The Ranger, which is a heavy battle cruiser, again very cool, all based on the stylings that we saw on the show. And then the Pioneer class, this was just seen yesterday for the first time. This is the starting ship that all characters will get to fly when they create a new captain. So that covers Agents of Yesterday. We have our next exciting announcement. It came out yesterday. Star Trek Online will be launching this fall on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Trailer. That's been translated into German for Star Trek Online. Why would we translate them to German? It's actually the second largest community we have in the game, again, after the United States. So a huge part of the game, the German population, is something that we like to try and work with and maintain as best we can. So again, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, this is very exciting for us, but it does come with some challenges. The game requires pretty much an entire keyboard to play. How do we get that to work on a 12-button controller? That was actually a big question for us. How are we going to do this? That's something that we had to sit down and prototype before we even decided that we were going to make the game, because if we couldn't make it work on a controller, we certainly were going to spend the time to make the game. But we were able to figure it out with radial menus and some simplification of systems. So if we look at our HUD here, we can see it's very streamlined. It doesn't take up very much of your screen if you've got a nice big screen TV, so you can enjoy the beautiful game. But now you've got a radial menu that will let you toggle powers, activate powers as quickly as you can pull the trigger. And this lets you activate all those abilities that normally you have on your keyboard really quickly. We have a lot of people on our team that actually prefer to play with a controller now that have been playing exclusively on PC for almost 7 years. In addition to how it plays, we've changed how it looks and performs. So we completely revamped the UI from scratch. You saw a little bit of that with the HUD. You'll see more of it in a moment. We redid the art completely so that way you could easily navigate with a controller. And we completely rewrote the back end. This is not built on existing technology. This is brand new from scratch. And that new technology is more efficient, and so it improves performance for the client as well. So this is the options menu, so you can get you anywhere you need to go. This is your ship paper doll, so you can come in here and you can set up your weapons and your consoles and your devices and your shields and everything. This is really clear, in my opinion, really good evolution of what we saw on PC. The galaxy map is just a small portion of the galaxy map. You can pan out, zoom in, select locations. And then your episode journal, so you can see your Klingon War and the Wasteland, the Romulan Mystery. You can see how far you are in those episodes, and then you can click through and look at those, look at the episodes that are there, what's up next for you to play, what's up next for you to experience. And then we did a major lighting overhaul on the game. The core technology team for Cryptic has been working on this for some time. We got light probes, diffuse probes, specular probes, deferred rendering, and improved HDR. That probably doesn't mean much, but we're going to go over in a second so we can see the difference that it makes. So this is just a screenshot of a room with some slats over the top and light casting through it. And this is what it looks like right now in our game that's live. This is what it looks like now with our new lighting engine. So you can see real-time reflections on that silver ball. You can see light reflecting off of the red ball onto the wall and casting that color on the wall, and you can see the room brightened up a little bit. Why did the room get brighter? We have these probes that we talked about scattered all over the room, and when the light comes in, the light bounces off those probes and it fills the room more naturally. It makes it look like it was lit by real light.
Oh my god, I'm sensing Chase Masterson! Is Is she here? And she is! Big hands! Woohoo!
Great to see you. Hello, FedCon. How are you? It is so great to be here on behalf of Star Trek Online. I love this game, and I'm so excited about it. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So great to see you guys.
Chase Masterson has been in Star Trek Online and was actually the featured villain as Mirror Lita this past fall.
I'm terrifying. It's really wonderful.
And then she'll be making another kind of surprise appearance in our new expansion, Agents of Yesterday, coming in the summer.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be the third, I was the third actor asked to be in Star Trek Online. First was Leonard Nimoy and Zach Quinto, and then Lita. Of course, Spock, and Lita, right? But I was so honored to be a part of it, and first I got to play the Hollow Lita, the regular doggo girl Lita. And as you know, Lita is a very loving character, very accepting, very spiritual and sweet, and also playful. And of course, the exact opposite of that Lita is in the Mirror Universe, which is Commander Lita, who is absolutely terrifying. She would eat the Borg Queen for breakfast. Really. Yes, thank you. As loving and as sweet and fun as regular Lita is, it's the exact opposite for Commander Lita. And it was so much fun to play. We recorded last year in October, New Dawn, that came out, and it was very exciting. And also, I'm going to be recording in June. Al Rivera, the lead game designer, has given me the invitation from Steve and his team to come back for more terrifying Mirror Lita, so I'm really excited about it.
We can't wait to get you back in game.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Can I tell one thing quickly?
Absolutely.
I have, I couldn't carry too many in my luggage, but I have a limited number of these game cards where you can get a code from me and get an exclusive in-game Mirror Lita, or I believe it's the Commander Lita, and then you have, here, let me just read it out loud exactly. It says, the owner of this flyer can redeem the key to claim an exclusive in-game Lita or Mirror Lita hologram bridge officer and convention veteran title for all characters on your account. So, if you'd like one of these, please come and see me. And I'm just excited to be here.
It's the only way to get Lita as part of your crew.
That's true. It is the only way. And you want Lita as part of your crew, don't you?
Yeah! I see so many Star Trek actors in this game. So, what is the secret of your success? What is the things that you get all these actors, like Chase Masterson, like the great Walter Koenig, and so on, in this game?
I feel like we respect the characters, and we respect the actors, and we respect the storylines. And so, at first it was tough to get people to come, and Chase was happy to try us out. But slowly, more actors saw that we were respectful of the IP, and we were respectful with them, and they would tell each other. And after a little while, we had actors come to us say, "Hey, we'd be happy to be in your game." So now it's very easy for us to find actors, get them to come in the game, or even come back again and do additional voice work. So it's just something that's going to keep growing for us.
All the actors really want to do it. All the actors are really excited about it when we get invited. And there's a lot of actors who still, need to be, or want to be fit in, that are being very nice to Steve Ricosa right now. So, and here, could I move this so I can see you? Thank you. Could I say a few more things? Yeah. That is really true what Steve said about respecting the IP. It's so important for any big franchise, but especially for Star Trek, to have that respect for canon and respect for the credos and ideals of Star Trek. That's really the heart of this show. And if a property has that, then all of the different parts of the property has to have it. And if it doesn't, it sticks out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the German translation would be, but it's very obvious if a company doesn't have that. And Star Trek has it so beautifully. Star Trek Online really delivers to the fans the important things about this show in quality. I'm not trying to sell this. I don't get paid any extra for doing this. But I want to say how much I enjoy going through the game and seeing the beautiful landscapes and seeing the really well-made character design and really well-made way through the game. It's really done in quality, as well as all the heart of Star Trek and the credos and the, the important themes that we love. So that's something I think is really important.
And please allow me to ask you for some words, because this year is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. So what kind of feeling is it for you being here on Europe's biggest Star Trek and science fiction convention?
For me, it's a huge deal. The only times I ever come to Germany is to talk about Star Trek. Last time I came was to Frankfurt and out of here. And we knew that we had to do something big for the 50th, and we were planning it since the 48th, and we're like, hey, it's the 48th, 2 years from now it's the 50th. We have to make sure we get to the original series. And so we started building our story in a way that would let us have the expansion that we're having right now. So I'm really excited to be here to tell everyone about it.
It's a huge honor. It really is. I guess you may have heard I'm also emceeing this event, and to be asked to do that for the 25th anniversary of FedCon and the 50th anniversary of Star Trek is just wonderful. Ich liebe Germany. Thank you. Well, I wish I could speak more German. I'm learning a little bit for the opening ceremonies, but I used to live in Germany when I was a little girl. My father was in the army here, and I loved it so much. I have such warm memories of the sweetness of the German people and the beauty of the countryside and the wonderful culture and the great food, the wooden toys, the beautiful fun that you guys have in so many ways, just the nature that is so important to this country. And I came back this time with my sister, who has never been back since we were little, and every single thing we're looking at, oh my gosh, look at that, I remember that, and it's just magic. And to combine that with Star Trek is really a dream. I'm so grateful. So, and with Star Trek Online, it's really fun because even right now I'm talking about, what's going to be in the game next when we record in June, and just different things about Mirror Lita. I'm emailing back and forth with your office about our recording session in June. So it's a gift, a dream, and I thank you so much for having me.
Says, du hast wunderschöne Augen. This means you have beautiful eyes.